Hi, dear children. Today I am going to teach you the journey of a river. So, it's a bit long chapter. I'll make it interesting with few pictures, and towards the end, you will have some mysterious information which you would be interested to know. So, first, I would like to teach you or make you understand what is the journey of a river. So, do you see this journey? Journey of a river is, you have learned about water cycle, right? The water from the rivers, ponds, lakes, etc. When it is heated up by the sun's heat, it goes up and become clouds and become evaporates and then condense and fall down as precipitation in the form of rain, hailstones, etc., snow, like that. So here, these water and the glaciers, they all melt, and from the source, a river is formed. So, what is this? Tewing, tewing. What is this? It's a source where a river originates. Then what happens? Then it forms, and many other small rivers also joins this big river. So they are called tributaries. Tributaries means small rivers or streams that flow into a big river. Small rivers, did you see? Small rivers, did you see? It flows into the big river and make the river bigger. That is called a tributary. Don't forget these names, okay? And then you have a distributary also. Distributary means when lots of tributaries comes, the water will become big, right? And based on the water and the terrain of the land, the water flows outside, not inside to the river, but some water flows towards other outside. A branch of the main river that flows out from it is called distributary. And like that, the river flows and then comes to join the ocean. So here in the mouth of the river, before it joins the ocean, a delta is formed. River delta. What is a delta? This is the delta. I'll explain to you in detail, but you can see when the river comes and flows to the ocean, the sediments of the water in the water, like soil and many particles, they'll form like this, and there will be, see, lots of small river kind of flows to the ocean. So let's start with the chapter journey of a river. This is India map. We all know that in India there are more than 400 rivers. Okay, we are not going to learn each and every river, but the major rivers we will definitely learn. In major rivers, today we are going to learn about Godavari. Godavari is the second longest river in India. So it originated in India and it ends in Bay of Bengal. And where does it originates? It originates in Maharashtra. This state is called Maharashtra, and Godavari originates in Maharashtra, and it is in the south of India, right? In the south, in English, sorry, in Hindi it is called Dakshin. So Dakshin Ganga, Godavari is also called Dakshin Ganga. Ganga, this is the Ganga river. It is the longest river in India. And towards the south is another sacred river called Godavari. It is also called Dakshin Ganga. It is the second longest river in India, and it begins in Western Ghats. Sorry, I've written it beings. It is begins in Western Ghats at Trimbakeshwar in Maharashtra, and it joins Bay of Bengal. And which all states does it flow through? It flows through Maharashtra, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, and then to the ocean. Godavari river flows through Maharashtra, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, and to the Bay of Bengal. Now we learn about the peninsula. What is peninsular? Peninsular means it is a piece of land. So as you see, even though this is the Asia continent, India is this highlighted part. So majority of India's portion is bordered by land. But on the other three sides, it is water. So, peninsula refers to a piece of land bordered by water on three sides but connected to a mainland or anything relating to such a landform. Okay, so this is peninsular, and here you have the Eastern Ghats, the Western Ghats, and Godavari River originates from Maharashtra. And like any other rivers, Godavari River also has few tributaries like Manjira, Indravati, and Shabari. We learned about tributaries, which are small rivers that join the big river, small rivers or streams. So the tributaries are Manjira, Indravati, and Shabari. And now, beside in this river, Godavari River is a Polavaram dam that is constructed, a dam with a large reservoir. Reservoir means large, huge land water. The large water body is called reservoir, and this Polavaram dam has a large reservoir. So there is a dam in Godavari. It is called the Polavaram Dam. Then you also have a tiger reserve, Kaval Tiger Reserve in Telangana, which is also beside the river. Also, there is a Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary and a Pench National Park. So you just have to understand that there are certain tiger reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, and national parks which which are situated beside the river. And why they are beside the river? You already know that the water from the river is useful for animals, birds, plants, trees, and human beings, and for all living organisms, right? So that's why we have lots of tiger reserves, wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, etc. Next is Godavari Pushkaram. It is a major Hindu festival dedicated to the Godavari River, celebrated once every 12 years. So, like the Ganga River, Godavari River is also considered a sacred river in South India, or Dakshin Ganga is considered very sacred, and there is a Godavari Pushkaram, a festival that happens once in every 12 years. After every 12 years only it happens. Then, do you know about perennial rivers and non-perennial rivers? Perennial rivers means, as you can see from these two images, perennial rivers are rivers which continuously flows through dry seasons also, because it is fed by melting glacier, snow, or a deep water table. So perennial rivers will have water all through the year. However, non-perennial rivers becomes dried off when it is summer season or when there is less rain, and it can also lead to floods, and that time there will be water in the river, otherwise there won't, it usually gets dried up. So Godavari is a perennial river which has water throughout the year. Now, there are certain animals that live in the Godavari river side. So, they are tigers, Indian golden gecko, barking deer, and there are lots of sandalwood trees also. Now we learn about delta. You know what is a delta? A big river from the source I told you, it comes and joins the ocean, and before it joins the ocean there will be an area of flat land shaped like a triangle where the river divides into small rivers as it goes into the sea, created by the deposits of the sediments at the mouth of the river. This is the mouth of the river, and there will be forming small rivers. Okay, so it slows down. As it enters the large body, the river slows down, and the pumping of water gets reduces, and it forms small rivers, and these a portion is called the delta. And in this delta area of Godavari, there are Koringa mangrove forests. You have seen a mangrove, right? This is mangrove, and there is the Koringa mangrove forest. And which are the plants that grow in Godavari? Rice or paddy grows in nearby the Godavari region. And cotton, you know cotton, right? How we make cotton clothes. That cotton also can be grown or grows in Godavari riverside. And also sugarcane. These are few of three crops which grows near the Godavari riverside. And can you tell me how other ways rivers help us? Rivers help us as a source of water for human beings, for drinking, cooking, washing, cleaning, etc. Second is for agricultural purposes, or we say irrigation, like for watering the plants which we cultivate. They also need water. Then we also require water for fishing and livelihood. Those who eat fishes, we need water, and the fishes also need water. Then we use water for making hydroelectric power. Without electricity, we cannot survive. We all use electricity every day in our life. And right from using the electricity to the drinking water, eating food, everything depends on rivers. Rivers are also a means of trade and transport. Through rivers, through boats and shipping, we can move goods and services and goods and people. So let's respect and protect our rivers. And of course, I did not miss it, but biodiversity in water. I've told you many species live along the waters. Now we learn about dams. You saw the dam photo which I've showed you, no? The Polavaram Dam, it's a very huge dam. So, building a dam, there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of constructing a dam is we get electricity or hydropower energy. And then it also controls flood. How it controls the flood? In the reservoir, it collects the water, and we can shut down the water falling, and then we can control the floods. We can reserve the water in the reservoir, and we can use it for our household purposes and other agricultural and other purposes. And to see dam, lots of people come, so it promotes tourism. And same way, there will be drought management or dry season, we can use this water, and the overall economic development. However, there are certain disadvantages, because to construct a big huge dam, we need to cut down lots of trees, and lots of animals, birds, and plants, everything, they lose their home. And then there will be environmental damage, and human beings also have to go away from there. They have to relocate. See, it's very bad that we have to leave our home and go somewhere just because they are constructing a dam, isn't it? So the solution is to relocate everybody to a safe place, and also give them proper compensation for that, sufficient money, or relocate them to a safer and better place. Then we have you heard about ecotourism? Ecotourism means visiting natural places like forests, river, mountains to enjoy their beauty. But we should not harm the environment. We can just go visit them and understand how they live, learn and enjoy, and come back without harming them. They also have all rights to live peacefully and happily. Now, have you heard about green blanket or the algae which cover the water bodies? Sometimes they look very nice, the green covered thing. but actually they are very harmful for the aquatic animals. Do you know why? They cover this water, and the animals are won't be able to, animals in the sense the organisms and the fishes, they under the water they will be suffocated, they'll get less oxygen, and it also spoils the cleanliness of the water, and this green blanket has to be removed immediately. So these are not actually good for the water purity or the health of the water. Have you heard about Namami Ganga program? So, the river Ganga is considered sacred river, and hence what people do, they'll go and offer all the flowers and all the waste materials in the water. Some people even go and jump into the water and take bath, and some even die in the water. So it is very dangerous, and these kind of things make the river very dirty and impure. So government has introduced a Namami Ganga program to clean the water, river Ganga's water, so that it stays healthy for the people, fish and birds. And what happens about a flood? You know what is a flood? When it rains heavily, when there is excess of water from the rivers and dams, then our houses all sink in the water. Then, can you see the flood? Have you ever experienced a flood before? So it's a very dangerous situation that the water goes inside our house, and we can't even take our vehicles, we can't go out of the houses, our house also will get dipped into the water. So it is very dangerous. If we don't preserve the nature properly, we will have to face these kind of consequences. So this is one thing. Can you see this image where this man is cutting all the trees? Okay, and he is filling this land. So the fish and everything died, the trees died. Now he constructed a beautiful house there, or not so beautiful, but he constructed a house. And in the end, when rain fell, what happened? Flood. And it's the same here. He has a beautiful house, there's a small river, the trees are protecting his house from getting flooded, but still this human being, the cruel human being, what he did, he cut down all the trees, and when it rained, the rain could not get absorbed in the soil because of lack of plants and trees, and again his house got flooded. So, dear children, will you ever cut down trees? If we have to cut down trees, we have to plant at least two trees. So, for tree cutting, we should plant two trees. So, that will help the environment. Also, but if, in case there is a flood in your place, you should always make sure of the following tips. So before, you should stay informed through TV or mobile or whatever services about the floods. Okay, the government will give directions, and you should also prepare an emergency kit or an emergency bag with all the essential items like your food, medicine, flashlight, etc. Then you should know the process to evacuate and save alternative routes. Okay, how you should go out of your house, where to go, which is the safest place, etc. And leave before flooding starts. You should not tell that, okay, there is no flooding, it's only raining in my house, I can't leave my house and go anywhere else. And you should not be adamant and stay in your house. You should leave before the flood starts. And in flood prone areas, keep useful items at home like sandbags, ladder, rope, etc. Okay. Next, during the flood. So, what during the flood, you should immediately disconnect your electricity and gas, or else it will be very dangerous. Also, you should not try to walk or dive in the water. Okay. Never try to do that. Or you should not drive also in the water nor dive in the water, and get into higher ground, higher areas only you should climb so that you won't get drowned in the flood. Also, you should follow the evacuation orders of the government or police or the fire force. Then you should also leave your animals, your domestic animals and cattle and dogs and whichever you are growing, you should leave them free so that they can also escape. And what should we do after the flood? Avoid contact with flood water and swimming because there will be danger like electricity shock or anything. So you should never do. And the water is very dirty, extremely dirty, and you don't know the force of the water. So avoid doing all this. You should not touch any power lines at any cost, and you should not go home immediately thinking what will happen to my house. Okay, until it is declared very safe. And you should communicate with your family members or friends or whoever it is that you are safe, and also ensure, ask them, check on them whether they are safe. And when you're back to home, you will have a lot of cleaning work to do, so you should first clean and disinfect your surfaces and items, and then only go ahead to stay in your house. Then I would like to know if you would try to save water. Like, will you save water from the dams or tap, whatever you get efficiently? Do you have well in your house? So usually in olden days, everybody used to have well in their house. Now most of the houses have taps. So through the taps, the water from the rivers we collect or we receive, we should use those water very efficiently. So we should never waste water. And how we can do that? When you brush your teeth, you should not leave your tap open, because when you're brushing, you're not using the water actually. So don't leave the water open when you're not using the water. And you should not never at any cost waste drinking water. And if there is a leaking tap, you should fix the tap immediately with the help of adults or a plumber or a professional. And then you should always reuse clean water left from washing fruits or vegetables in watering plants. So when you after washing clothes or washing utensils, that left out water you can use it for your plants and surrounding areas. And you should remind your family members also and friends also, everybody whom you know, to save water too. Okay. And remember, every drop counts. Now I'll come to the interesting part. So this is Bhupan Hazarika Setu. Okay, it's Dola Sadia Bridge. It's a big bridge. Okay, it is India's longest permanent bridge. It is 9.15 kilometers. Can you see? It's beautiful, no? It is constructed across the River Brahmaputra. And this is Chenab Rail Bridge. It is the world's highest railway arch bridge. It is located in Jammu and Kashmir. Here the train goes. It's a railway bridge and it's the world's highest. And we also have Majuli. Majuli is a island. It's the world's largest river island situated in Assam in the river Brahmaputra River. It's the world's largest river island. You know what is an island? It is a piece of land surrounded by water. Is island. Then you see the Hirakud Dam. The Hirakud Dam is located about 15 kilometers from Sambalpur in Odisha, and it is the longest major earthen dam and in the Mahanadi River. You know what is an earthen dam? A dam constructed with soil, mud, or rocks, earthen substances, not the cement or modern techniques, but the old earthen natural materials. So it is the Hirakud Dam. And then there is a hilsa fish. You know what is a hilsa fish? The fish is lives in the ocean, but when it has to lay eggs, it comes to the rivers and lay eggs. So in Godavari River also the hilsa fishes comes and lay eggs. This is called hilsa fish migration. And finally, we are going to learn about the dolphin. You know which dolphin is this? And you know which is the national aquatic animal of India? It is Ganges River dolphins. Ganges River dolphins are usually found in the river Ganga, and it is the national aquatic animal, and it does not have eyes. It uses sound to find its way. That is Ganges River dolphins. So children, hope you enjoyed, hope you understood, and if you find it difficult, kindly go through the video once again, pause, understand, and then study and become very good children for our nation. All the best, dear children. Bye bye.